the silence has finally broken. What had long been whispered in private corners has now burst into the open, shaking the entire world of K-pop. The question on everyone's lips is this: did HYBE really impose unseen restrictions on Taehyung? And if so, why? And more shocking still, why did Jikook, the member known for his quiet loyalty, decide to step into the storm and break the silence, risking everything in the process? These explosive revelations about Taehyung and Jikook have left not only the ARMY, but the entire entertainment industry stunned. For months, rumors had been swirling. Questions about Taehyung's unusual schedule, sudden cancellations, and unexplained absences. His activities seemed oddly limited compared to the global icon status he holds. Fans began noticing that opportunities available to other members didn't seem to flow toward him as freely. Was this all coincidence? Or was something happening behind the scenes, hidden from public view? Now, with Jungkook's words, the speculation has been given new weight. His remarks, subtle yet emotionally charged, suggest that these patterns weren't accidents of timing or choice. Instead, they hint at restrictions deliberately placed on Taehyung, boundaries invisible to the public eye, but deeply felt within the group. Coming from Jungkook, a member who has always stood for unity and harmony, these words carry a magnitude impossible to ignore. The implications are staggering. Why would a company like HYBE, one that has built its empire on the global success of BTS, place limits on one of its brightest stars? Was there fear that Taehyung's influence might overshadow others? Was it a calculated strategy to shift attention elsewhere? Or could it be part of a deeper system that values control more than individuality? Each possible answer only deepens the outrage among fans, who are desperate to understand the truth. Adding to the intensity of the moment is the timing. Taehyung's absence from certain major projects and his reduced visibility in high-profile events had already raised eyebrows. Industry watchers noted the discrepancies, plans that suddenly changed, appearances cut short, and restrictions in media coverage that didn't seem to align with his status. When matched with Jungkook's comments, the pattern appears undeniable. But what makes the situation even more complex is Taehyung's silence. Known for his calm and diplomatic nature, his refusal to directly address these rumors has left fans with more questions than answers. Is his quietness a personal choice? Is it a form of resistance, a way of speaking without words? Or is it a sign that he has been told to remain silent? Fans have begun analyzing every expression, every pause, every rare appearance in search of hidden meaning. His restraint, once seen as grace, is now dissected as evidence of something more troubling. Jungkook's decision to speak out marks a historic moment. For years, BTS has symbolized unity, 7 brothers standing together against the pressures of the industry. They were the group that seemed untouchable, above the typical corporate conflicts that plagued others. Yet Jungkook's words remind the world that even BTS is not immune to internal struggles, and that battles for freedom and fairness exist even at the very top. His act of courage has not gone unnoticed. Within minutes of his remarks spreading, social media exploded. Fans expressed everything from heartbreak to fury, rallying around Taehyung with fierce loyalty. Some demanded answers directly from HYBE, while others poured messages of gratitude toward Jungkook for daring to voice what many had long suspected. The ARMY's emotional reaction has been overwhelming, proof once again of the unbreakable bond between BTS and their fans. Industry analysts, however, warn that this revelation could carry heavy consequences. Trust between artists and their management is fragile, and once broken, it is nearly impossible to repair. If HYBE has in fact limited Taehyung, the damage extends far beyond a single member. It threatens the unity of the group itself. Can BTS move forward as one if hidden restrictions continue to exist? Or will this fracture create impossible choices for the members? Perhaps the most painful thought for fans is imagining what Taehyung himself has endured in silence. To picture such a charismatic, creative soul quietly carrying the weight of invisible chains is heartbreaking. For those who admire his authenticity and individuality, the idea that his voice has been muted behind the scenes feels like betrayal. The polished image of the entertainment industry has cracked, and behind it lies something raw, something too real to ignore. And yet, even in this storm, there is a glimmer of resilience. Jungkook's bravery does not just expose frustration, it sparks hope. Hope that speaking the truth will bring change. Hope that loyalty among the members is stronger than any system that tries to divide them. For ARMY, this is a bittersweet moment, painful in its revelations, but inspiring in the courage it took to bring them into the light. The biggest question now is, what comes next? Will HYBE step forward with clarity or retreat into silence? Will Taehyung finally share his own perspective, or will Jungkook's voice remain the boldest statement in this unfolding drama? Every move, every word, every absence will now be scrutinized like never before. This isn't just about corporate control, it's about freedom, truth, and loyalty. If Taehyung's restrictions are ever confirmed, they won't only symbolize his struggle, they'll represent the silent battles every artist faces within systems designed to control them. And Jungkook, by choosing to speak, has given that struggle a face, a voice, and a human story. The world is now watching closely. Fans, media, and even industry insiders recognize this moment as a turning point. If someone as influential as Jungkook is willing to risk his position to highlight injustice, then the silence that has long shielded hidden systems can no longer hold. But, and this must be underlined, the claims remain unverified. While the narrative of restriction and exposure has captured millions of hearts, no solid proof has been presented. Taehyung has not confirmed it. Jungkook has not explicitly accused. HYBE has not admitted to anything. Much of what's being discussed is built on interpretation of words, scheduling changes, and fan observations. And while the emotional reaction is very real, the facts remain uncertain. This is the delicate balance between truth and speculation. What is known is that Taehyung has had periods of reduced activity. What is imagined is that those moments were due to deliberate suppression. What is certain is Jungkook's influence and sincerity. What is uncertain is whether his words were truly aimed at HYBE's control or simply misunderstood in the rush of fan emotion. And so, caution is needed. Stories built on assumption risk creating unnecessary division between artists, management, and fans. Both Taehyung and Jungkook deserve to have their actions interpreted with fairness, not suspicion. Until undeniable evidence emerges, claims of restriction remain speculation. One truth, however, cannot be denied: the love between BTS and ARMY. That bond is unshakable, built on years of shared history, trust, and resilience. But to protect that bond, fans must learn to separate rumor from fact and passion from assumption. Because at the end of the day, this is more than a controversy. It's a test of loyalty, truth, and the strength of voices willing to speak. Jungkook has spoken. Taehyung's silence speaks volumes of its own, and together, their story has created a moment that the world cannot ignore. The question now is, how far will the truth go, and what will the future hold for BTS, HYBE, and the millions watching around the globe?